What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Emotional, and guess what?
I'm back, and I'm better than ever. Got a neck.
And we are back at it for another reaction video. I am Emotional, aka your sultan of sexy. You know where the best be. It's me, can't you see? I'm fresh and so clean. What's going on, y'all? We back at it for another Cymple Man video. I know I'm late as hell, but it is what it is. Cymple Man, little green army men. I ain't gonna lie, I think it makes me think about them little toys too, like them little green army toys that I used to have as a kid, but also the ones where that was in Toy Story. But yeah, anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Now, baby, let's vibe. Hit the button, baby. Oh, right on the dot.
The saga continues. It's so hard to maintain focus. There's a lot to get into. I'm just trying to stop my descent to a new low. Cause every day's a new show. These characters and actors create distractions, and they backing up all my new growth. We stretch ourselves to the breaking point just to live fruitful. Conduct ourselves for others' approval. If we all truthful, it's so unfulfilling. Never gain a satisfaction. I just keep moving forward, Lord. Don't let me lose this traction. You were giving me strength to press.
Hold on one second. Let me bring it back a little bit.
Just to live fruitful. Conduct ourselves for others' approval. If we all truthful, it's so unfulfilling.
Yeah. Been there. Definitely been there. Like, there was a lot of times where I'll even say the majority of my life I was doing stuff not even just for the approval of like people out in the street, but just family, because it just seemed like that was what I was supposed to do, because it seemed like that was the only thing to also get people off my back, because it was always, I felt like my life was always like, you know, I was always sent in certain directions, but I never really had a say in nothing. You know what I'm saying? I understand I'm a kid at times. I know I'm a kid in that situation, like when I was younger, but like as I got older, it seemed like folks was still on the same type of time. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, because I never really had a certain, like, what's the word? Because I didn't have a certain drive within myself at that time to like venture off and do different things. But it's like, it just seemed like a way for me to survive. But I guess I didn't really realize it. You know what I'm saying? But it seemed like just getting the approval of others would keep people off my back. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think I'm gonna ever just get people off my back, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's just, for me, I would only do it just to get people off my back trying to survive. But it made me really angry at the same time. Like really, really angry, bro. Really angry.
If we all truthful, it's so unfulfilling. Never gain a satisfaction. I just keep.
And what was that in the background? It was like a vocal in there.
Unfulfilling. Never gain a satisfaction.
Okay, I did hear that right. Okay. Just making sure.
It's so unfulfilling. Never gain a satisfaction. I just keep moving forward, Lord. Don't let me lose this traction. You were giving me strength to press on every day, guys. So I write these simple songs, but I don't quit my day job. I'm a provider and I'm blessed to be one, so I keep my complaining low. And when that alarm rings, I go, yes, Lord. I miss those little green army men. That's all it took to make me smile back then. These sacrifices wasn't on my radar in my backyard. Now I'm those little.
I ain't gonna lie. That chorus, I like that. The way the verses sounded, it wasn't really my cup of tea, but like what Cuz is saying, I'm like, yeah, it's stuff that I felt before. You know what I'm saying? And just even, I feel like now I'm like really just starting to like figure out like, okay, really understand the type of strength that I have, but also like the desire for better. That's one of my things. Hold on.
Now I'm those little green army men, waking up to get it out the dirt again. Whatever keeps the smiles on their face, God, day by day job. Yeah, all these questions, they aren't for me to figure out. My purpose just seems so much bigger now. I don't make excuses, I know what's at stake. I know my place and I know I give it all it takes. They ain't gonna make no statues out of me, and that's fine. Long as my children can look back and realize that the time they had for bike riding, or maybe for some trampoline jumping, came from dad's hard work, and that's what made the work mean something. Their story becomes mine. The playtime that's earned gets passed down through generations.
If Cymple Man, if you watching, I have a question. So like, how do you balance the mental battles, I would think, as a man you go through when it's like you're trying to provide for your family, but at the same time it's like, I just think about it from like what I would think, right? Like, how do you balance your own mental health while still doing that? Because it's like, to be, if I have it right, I think you a husband, and then like you just said, a father. So it's like to balance the relationship with your wife, your kids, and then yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then of course your relationship with God too, because you mentioned God a lot through this. So like, that's a lot to balance. So it's like, how do you balance all of that? Because it seemed like, again, like it would be a lot on the mind, especially for like a man. It's like, yo, like, especially for what we're taught that we're supposed to do and what society says we're supposed to do. But then again, it's like, one thing that I learned is also like what your woman says and what your woman needs and what your kids need ain't always what society says you're supposed to do, if that makes sense. I hope that made sense. But yeah, just a question. It was a loaded question, but like anybody that's like a father, husband, so on and so forth, like, answer the question for me if you don't mind.
Gets passed down through generations when it becomes their turn. We all those little green army men and women now, fighting our own personal wars to make our family proud every day. I miss those little green army men. That's all it took to make me smile back then. These sacrifices wasn't on my radar in my backyard.
Boy.
Now I'm those little green army men, waking up to get it out the dirt again. Whatever keeps the smiles on their face, God, day by day job. I miss those little green.
That chorus is hard, bro.
That's all it took to make me smile back then. The sacrifices wasn't on my radar in my backyard. Now I'm those little green army men.
Background vocal.
Get it out the dirt again. Whatever keeps the smiles on their face, God, day by day job.
Okay. Here's to the nod, dog. Okay, so here's my thing with this one, right? I like that chorus. That chorus is hard. That chorus hits. Now, for me, the way, like I said, the way that the verses flowed wasn't really my speed, but what he's talking about, I can get. Especially because it's like, you know, like I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was like they're trying to make the family proud specifically. I think for me, it's like, again, like I said earlier, it's like I'm trying to get my family off my back, if that makes sense. Or I'm trying to get folks off my back, because it just feels like it's a never, it feels like, not saying it's not, or not saying it is, but it's like it feels like a never ending cycle. And it's like, it's just one of those things where it's kind of like, just trust what I'm doing. Just trust where God has me, if that makes sense. It's like, I understand like it don't look cute right now, or it's not what everybody else is doing, but just relax, let me breathe and watch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where my head is with it, because it seems like I'm constantly fighting. It feels like I'm fighting a battle in my own head. I feel like I'm fighting a battle with like my own internal thoughts, like fear and so on and so forth. Then also with hearing the other thoughts of other people and what they saying. And it just feels like that, like, when is it gonna stop? Or does it stop? You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like them little green army men. Like I wish. I think for me it was though like it was the I remember the Piccolo action figure I had as a kid. The what else was it? I remember that Quasimodo puppet that I got from Burger King as a kid. Like what else was it? It was some X-Men. I can't remember his name. But like those were just like a few of the ones that I remember I had as a kid. Those were like my little green army men. It's like that. Like I didn't think playing with them toys on that chair or on that couch in the basement would have been like I didn't think that I'd be in the position I'm in, especially like back then. Like I didn't think I'd be where I'm at back then. You know what I'm saying? I remember being that scared little kid that was always afraid to try anything. And it's like I feel like my whole life I know a lot of us are doing that, but it's like for me it's like I feel like I've been battling that my entire life. Like the whole like fear of rejection from family, friends, and just people in general, like battling them intrusive thoughts, so on and so forth. But it's like one thing I could say, like the more that I do this YouTube thing, the more I'm like, it's just the internet thing in general. It's like, yo, like I feel like I'm getting further and further away from it. That fear, you know what I'm saying? The more steps forward that I take. So like I said, it's one of them songs where it's like I feel what he's saying because it's relatable to me and where I'm at in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not a father and a husband. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm thinking about it here though. Peace, baby. Lay out.